All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Course Creator Community Podcast. I am super excited because we have an awesome guest on the line this week. A little bit about this person. She teaches bakers how to market their business with confidence so they can make more money. She's one of the best in the world at what she does, probably the best. I'm not in the baker's space, so, I can't speak for that side of things, but I've seen her resume. And she's been on NBC, she's been on Fox, she's been on Facebook, Wells Fargo, LSU. I'm not even from America and I know those places. So she's been on some pretty heavy places. She's got an amazing membership, an amazing following on social media. So without further ado, let me introduce all the way from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the one and only Amanda Schonberg. Amanda, how are you?
Hey, how are you, darling? Thanks so much for having me.
No, thanks for coming on. Amanda, I've obviously been following you for a while on Instagram. I've got a pretty good idea of what it is you do. If someone's listening to this and they don't know what it is you do, I know I gave a really brief intro, but do you want to expand on that a little bit? Let us know what it is you do exactly. What's the course about? How'd you get into it? And tell us a little bit about your story.
Sure. So I am a bakery business coach. I'm a certified chef, and I'm also a certified digital marketer. I got into this simply by just going live. I would go live on social media. It started off on Periscope, which was a live streaming platform, just showing up, sharing what I like to call tips, tricks, lessons, anything to just help and pour into my community. That turned into a membership with a former business partner that I actually had. We created a membership, and after that, I ended that partnership, started all over, and launched my own membership. And I firmly believe in people over profits. I love to make an impact while making an income, and I love to help my students do that as well. So, as a chef, I noticed a lot of people who were in the baking industry struggle with things such as how to get business out there, how to get sales, how to talk about their business, how to stand out in a saturated market. So mainly just like any other normal business coach, but I'm specifically for bakers, which a lot of other people follow too, creatives and stuff, because business is business across the board. But that's how I got started, simply by showing up, sharing on social media.
Awesome. Let me ask a couple questions with that, Amanda. So, when you started sharing on Periscope, that was still to help other bakers. That wasn't baking tips. That was always business tips for other bakers.
It was both. It was both. I would do recipes. I would go live. Anything in the baking arena, business, to talk about my day, my struggles, things like that. But I noticed I've always had a passion for business. I graduated school in food service management. So immediately after I graduated school, I went into managing other businesses. I've managed facilities such as Great American Cookie Company, which is a big cookie brand here in the States, um, Sam's Wholesale. So the manager portion of it has always more so been in it for me, more than just the pastry, the dipping, and the stuff like that. So it's always been a passion. So that's why business is just a little bit more passionate to me as far
L-
as baking.
Love it. Okay. Next question, Amanda. Now, I asked this question to all my guests, which is essentially why your membership? Why is it better than anything else out there? Why is it different to anything else out there? And even if you could compare it, yeah, actually ask that question and we'll go from there. Why your membership?
Oh, wow. Why my membership? Well, it's a few things. So I think my membership, if I would have to say it's the best, I definitely think I have the best membership in our baking community, hands down. I think what makes my membership the best, if I could say so, is not just me, but I have other speakers, and
Mm,
I'm very, very passionate about the people who I have come and speak to my students. So it's always changing. I've learned from past mistakes. I've been able to restart and give my students the best of what they need in order to help them succeed. So the membership, although it is ran by me, we have other 6 and 7 figure industry speakers who come and speak to my students. So you're literally for, I mean, one small price, you have knowledge to tons of other people. We've had Food Network personalities come, popular bloggers come. I've partnered with the company Yelp, which
mm,
just came to help our students show up and dominate on that platform. We've had world-renowned photographers come and show my students how to position themselves. So you don't just get me, you get an entire system. I have a CPA on standby who answers all the pricing questions. We work with a company called Bake Diary, which has assisted my students. So honestly, I think the level of support is unparalleled. And I'm always willing to put myself on the back burner if it means hiring, and paying someone else to come in and teach my students. I love for my students to succeed. And so because of that, I definitely think that's why my membership is the best, if I had to say that.
Love it. I can hear the passion in your voice. Now, I want to go a bit deeper on that and actually hear, like, what does the membership look like? You mentioned a few things in there, but I'd love to hear that. Just before I do, question with the guest speakers you bring on. That's a paid thing. You'll pay those speakers to come in, or do they come in complimentary and get an opportunity to get in front of your audience? Does it depend? How does that kind of work?
Yeah, it's a paid thing. We've had some complimentary, probably because I was just close to the person.
Yep.
But other than that, I don't mind paying. If I reach out to someone and I say, hey, this is a need, then I understand that other people excel in other areas, like Yelp. That's one of the top review companies in the
In the
world.
world. Yeah, we got them in
Exactly.
Australia. Yeah.
Yeah. So to have them come and do not one, but two classes for my students, that's like a connection that is priceless.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't mind.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, tell us a little bit about your membership, Amanda. What does it look like? If a baker was to sign up, what do they get? And maybe also dive into the platform as well. Maybe dive into it from the student side of things. So a student jumps in,
Uh-huh.
they pay the monthly membership fee. What do they get? And then also maybe give us a bit of a peek on the back end. What platform are you using? That sort of stuff there too.
Yeah, totally. So the membership is based on 4 C's for me. One of the first C's is community. So we have a private Facebook community, which is always active. Every single day, someone is asking a question, or every single day, someone is sharing a win. Hey, I made $1,000 a day. Hey, I opened my bakery. Hey, I did this. So, and we love to root and cheer people on. So that's the first C. The second C is coaching. Every single month, my students get a coaching call with me. I'm a firm believer, like I said, because I believe in people over profits. I have all questions answered. So coaching call maybe 45 minutes. It may be 2.5 hours. I answer every single question, and my students love that. So I do believe in coaching and helping all of my students one-on-one. The next C would be curriculum. So there's a database of over 20 plus courses already available for them to, everybody gets a success path or a class recommendation whenever we have new memberships come in, so that no one is straggling. Like I can say, hey, you need this, because seeing everything in front of you can be super overwhelming if you allow it to. So I'm always telling my students, hey, you run your own race. Everybody runs their own race, go at your own course. And then the last 4 is actually captions. A lot of people struggle with showing up on social media consistently. So I have a copywriter that I outsource, and my students get social media captions every single month so that they can show up consistently. So yeah, so that is what the community looks like. So they're always getting texts from me. They always know when a call is. They can log in, watch classes. Have any questions, they hop in the Facebook group. On the back end, all of that is orchestrated by, I use the, what is the name? Community. I use the text messaging platform Community to keep in touch with all my students. My classes are hosted on the platform Thinkific, and I actually have a partnership with Thinkific. They also just did a trends report for course creators featuring their top 20 course creators and some of the trends. And I was featured in their trends report as well.
Well done.
So, yeah, thank you. So I love Thinkific. I know when I started out, a lot of people would do classes in these Facebook groups, which is okay for certain things like community or questions, but I like all of my stuff to be organized. So that's why I love a learning portal, for a person to log in, type what they need to, and then it pops up. No one wants to be digging through a Facebook group, to find material. Yeah. So community for text, Thinkific for the learning portal, and then my email software, stuff like that, is a company called Ascend, which is owned by Wix. And those are primarily the three things that I use as far as tools for running my membership.
Love it. Couple questions with this, Amanda. The coaching session, that's a group one, right? You'll say,
Yeah.
hey guys, we're going live at this time here or whatever. Come and attend on Zoom or whatever, and people can come live. And I'm guessing they also get access to the replay, or it goes in the Facebook group or something as well.
Yep, the replay goes inside the learning portal, and that's live. So I talk, we share our wins. We actually just had a coaching call the day before yesterday. We share our wins. If I have any nuggets that I want them to be mindful of for the next month, I go over that, and then we open the floor for any questions.
Awesome. Now the curriculum, you said 20 courses. Now, how long are these? Are these all 10-hour courses? Are they half an hour courses? Does it vary?
Most of my classes average anywhere between an hour and 15 minutes to about maybe an hour and 40 minutes. But yeah, everything is usually broken down into little lessons. Then there's also PDFs if needed. So
awesome. All right. That all makes sense there. Can I ask numbers, Amanda? How many members you got these days?
We have over 220 members now. And this membership I started a year ago.
That's amazing.
January 16th, 2021.
Okay. Wow.
I will say this, if there's one lesson I learned for any course creator out there, is I had a membership previously for about 4 years in which I learned lessons. I made mistakes. So, we all learn as we go. That membership, when I left, it had about 160. So I know some people can get afraid of starting over or just starting teaching regarding, but I walked away. I handed that person the entire business and I walked away. When I launched my own membership, opening night, I had my webinar, I had a class, and I opened it up to everyone. I closed the doors. It was closed at the time, and I ended with 162.
Wow.
So I got one more than what I had. And that was a year ago. And then after that, it always grows. So I always tell people it's never too late to start over if you need to start over, or it's never too late to just start, period.
Question with that, Amanda, because my question here is, I guess, with the 20 courses, did you have them before you launched, or did you have a few and then you launched and then you built on? How did that when you started, how much content was there as opposed to now?
Yeah, when I started, I had students that followed me from the old membership. But when I started, because I knew there would be new people coming in, I kicked it off with, there was like 7 courses that was there. Things that I just knew that no matter what level you're on, you're going to need this. If you think you don't need it, like, this is my way now. Now you're going to learn you do need it. And then after that, the first year was heavy because I had to, build back what I didn't have. So it was like a class every month. Now we're more focused on, we still have classes and courses, but challenges, planning sessions, because I always tell my students, it's not Netflix. I don't want you to be a hero. I want you to be a doer. So, blasting through classes doesn't mean anything if you're not taking action. And I find that my students who take action succeed more. So so it was pretty awesome.
Gotcha. All right. Well, follow-up question from that, Amanda, is around the sales and marketing side of things. Let's start with the marketing. Where does most of your traffic come from?
Oh, so most of my traffic comes from Instagram. I love Instagram. I am an Instagram baby. And the traffic comes just from doing shows, speaking. If I do things like that and people hear about me, then, they'll follow and they'll get involved. But for the most part, Instagram.
Awesome. And then what
That's
sort of
my
stuff?
Primary platform.
And what sort of stuff are you doing on Instagram to grow your following there? And we'll start with the grow the following, and then we might start to, converting those followers to members.
Yeah, so I believe in, I call it the Jesus strategy, but it's, I believe in serving before you sell. So I show up every week and I share tips, any type of beginner friendly tip, things that I know that a beginner would need, things to show people who I am. I show my behind the scenes, what I'm working on, where I've been featured, things I've been blessed with, to get people into me as a person, me as a bakery business coach, and what I have to offer. So content marketing, you can say, would probably be my primary source. The secondary source that's just new is the podcast.
I
I have
saw
a
that.
podcast, yeah, Baking for Business podcast, which I'm super grateful for. It has grown like wildfire. I started a podcast 2 months ago. And my goal was, I said, okay, if I can get 2,000 downloads for my first year, that was like my goal, just for my first 12 months, I would be happy. It would be awesome, because there was a competitor, someone else out there, and I heard them say that was how they ended their year. Well, I haven't even got to a year yet. We actually just made 2 months and we already have 4,000 downloads. We hit the
Wow.
4,000 mark yesterday. So the podcast has taken off more than anything I could have ever imagined. And I love that, because that allows me to share other people's stories. People get to hear from my students and see their route, the way they took it. And that's bringing in more people to social media also.
Love it. All right. The conversion. So now, you're on Instagram and you've got your podcast and people are coming into your world. How do you convert them from followers into paying clients? I know you mentioned a webinar before. Are you still doing that? Or is it, let us know a bit about the sales cycle.
Yeah, so I still do webinars periodically. Generally, I convert them just, I guess you can say, with lead magnets.
Gotcha.
So when someone lands on my page, there's a lead magnet. In my content marketing, I am always intentional with sharing my lead magnet, which is what I teach my students to do also. It's on my website. It's weaved in my podcast. So it's either you're somehow going to hear about me, you're going to get on my list, and then you're going to take the next step.
Gotcha. And then that next step is some follow-up emails. Is that how it works? That someone will get your lead magnet and then there's an email chain to join your membership? Is that how it works?
Yeah, there's an automation. So there might be like 3 or 4 tips and stuff like that before it says, hey, if you'd like to join any further, you can join. Or people will generally sign up when I do have a webinar. So then I'll normally do a series of free things. I have a webinar, open it, and then get members like that.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like people will jump on your list and they might go straight away and purchase there. And then let's just call it once a month, for example, you'll run a live webinar. And I'm guessing you tell everyone about that, your social media, your email list. And then even if those people that are on the list didn't sign up in the initial automation, the way they would sign up later is via the webinar.
Correct. Yeah.
Awesome. And it's open now. It's open anytime, the membership, or do you do the open close card? Did you used to do it? Tell us a little bit about that.
So the first year I did open close. I still debate on doing open close, but it's open right now for the most part.
What do you prefer? And let us know the advantages, disadvantages, what you found from either.
So the advantages of open close, I guess, is it really allows me to focus. Like when I'm closed, I can focus more because I still have an award-winning bakery. So aside from the membership, I still have my own base. So it's a time thing for me because I always like to have balance. But then having it open for me, it's still great too, because then people will say, hey, I wanted to join. And I'm like, look here, like when my new members come, I always want to make sure that I can answer someone's question. I do have an assistant who helps, a community manager, as well as we have a group admin who helps also. I don't want to say I have a problem with delegating, but I do recognize that, not to be cocky or anything, but because of the person I am, I can have my assistant send out 1 million emails and people will still message me directly. But just because they like that, I'm like, come on now, just because they like that contact. But I think open going forward is pretty okay. I've been blessed to handle it.
Yeah, cool. And I think also for the people listening, I think open close is a good way to start off. And then once you're a bit more established, then you can open at any time.
Yeah. I like that.
Awesome. All right, Amanda, if you could go back a year from now, right, before you open the membership, what's one thing you would do differently?
If I could go back, one thing I would do differently, let's see. I think I would have believed in myself in the start before I had a membership with a partner. I just would have done it on my own. I was afraid of tech, so it was a lot easier to let someone else handle that. Going forward, I would have cut it and just launched it on my own.
Okay. Should we dive deeper into that, or should we leave it at there with the partners? Because I think that could be some good discussion there. Like, do you go with a partner or do you go with your own? But I want to be careful and respectful of your situation and your partner.
It's okay. No, I appreciate it. There's a blessing and a lesson in everything. I don't have a problem with anyone. I wish everyone the best, but I think sometimes I'll share this story.
Yep.
One of my business coaches is Amy Porterfield, who's
Yes.
amazing in online marketing, and she shared how she had an amazing, successful business, but there was tech. She always thought she can go a step higher. So naturally, if someone comes and you feel they have the answer to what you're struggling with, you'll link up because you want to see your business grow. Sometimes things don't work out. There are advantages to having partnerships. Like, was a great person to talk to, a person to hear my crazy, because, sometimes I get in my own head. But then there are also disadvantages. When you have ideas, you don't want to have to run those by someone. If you see something and you want to try it, you want to be able to try it. You don't ever want to go to sleep wondering, should I have really done that? Or I guess I'll never know, or this or that. So what I will tell a person is that if you're debating on a partner because you feel you're not good at something and that person can contribute, I would say first take a class, a course, or seek consulting before you solely just give half of your business to someone else. And then also to believe in yourself. I don't think I believed in myself nearly as much then as I do now, which is crazy because like you stated, I mean, when we look at everything, I have every right to, I've been blessed to accomplish a lot in my career. I've spoken for some of the top brands in the world, Facebook, International Cake Decorating. I've had great partnerships, with Thinkific, Wells Fargo. All of those actually came after my partnership. I feel like things took off after my partnership. Sometimes it's great when your back is up against the wall. You will learn if you're a fighter or if you're a quitter. And I wish my partner all the best in luck, but I no longer need a partner. I am well and dandy on my own. And I thank God for the grace. And when you have business acumen, if you can start a business with a partnership, you can start a business on your own. So I would tell anybody to just believe in themselves.
Gotcha. Good advice. Next question, Amanda, is around mentors. You mentioned Amy Porterfield then. The question I usually ask is for 3 different mentors. A paid mentor, so someone that you've paid money to and they've had the biggest impact on your online business. Someone that you haven't paid money to, but you follow on social media, whether it be Instagram, YouTube, listen to their podcast, whatever it may be, and a book that you read or that you recommend a online course creator membership person should read to grow their online business. So mentors, paid, unpaid, and book.
So for a mentor paid, I would actually say Damon John.
Wow.
Yeah, that's still one of my biggest. Amy Porterfield is great, but Damon John has amazing courses from Shark Tank and just so many lessons of how he built and started Fubu, the company he works with now. There's just such a wealth of knowledge. So I would say Damon John for paid. For free, someone free, I would say Ed Mullet. Or Lewis Howes. I listen to them also. They're very inspirational, really, really great guys as far as productivity and stuff like that. Or Michael Hyatt. Michael Hyatt is really awesome also. And as far as a book, if it came down to a book, I would say Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, definitely, because I think mindset is what so many entrepreneurs struggle with. However, I would also have to recommend Hero on a Mission by Donald Miller. Donald Miller is one of the greatest storytellers of all time. And a million of us could do the same thing. You have so many course creators listening right now. But as a course creator, what will help you to stand out the most is your story. People don't buy products, people buy people. So when you're wondering, why is my course not selling? Why is my membership not selling? Sometimes people have to find you relatable. You can have a high price tag, a low price tag, doesn't matter if people don't see value. Perceived value is huge. So it's not I tell people all the time, price is one thing, value is another, and then worth is something totally different. And a lot of times we don't share our worth and our value in the price tag. So people buy you, they buy your story, they buy your transformation first before they buy any student's transformation, I feel. So
Love that. And some great recommendations there. I'm a huge fan. That book, Think and Grow Rich, changed my life. I still read
yes,
it every year now. And the best part, it's 100 years old. Do you know that, Amanda? It came out in
right?
1920, right? And those
Yeah.
principles are still applicable. So I love that. I haven't read the Hero on a Mission, but I've read the Story Brand book. Have you read the Story Brand book?
Yes, yes, it's right
Yeah.
back there.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I might have to check out the Hero on a Mission. Awesome. Okay, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover, Amanda. If someone's listening to this and they're like, "This woman is awesome. I want to follow her." Even if they're not a baker, I just find her inspirational. I want to see what she's up to. Where's the best place for us to follow you? Is it Instagram, or have you got any other platforms we should check you out?
Yeah, you can follow me everywhere. So Instagram, Baking for Business, Pinterest, Baking for Business, YouTube, Baking for Business. The podcast is Baking for Business, and the website, Baking for Business.
Love it. That's a good tip, though. I think for people listening as well, if you can get that one social media handle exactly the same on everything, it just makes life so much easier. It's not baking for business one on Pinterest and then
Yeah,
baking
yeah.
underscore business underscore this three on YouTube. It's baking for business.
I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah, agree. Awesome. All right, Amanda, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. Is there anything I should have asked you but forgot to, or is there anything you want to finish us off with?
No, you covered everything. I thank you so much for the opportunity. I hope this helps any course creator that's listening. My one word of advice that I have for everybody is I have a saying that I truly believe that goes across all fields is that you would never have been given passion if you couldn't profit and prosper from it. And I
Love
do
it.
firmly believe that. So if we have a passion, I think it's up to us to show up, and to profit from it is great, but to prosper and to have other people succeed from the gifts that we have inside of us is even better. So I wish all of your course creators the best success everywhere.
Awesome. All right, Amanda, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, darling. Have an awesome day.